When we make an investment, we see ourselves as taking an ownership stake in a business rather than buying a stock or a piece of paper, because when I'm taking an ownership stake in it, it's not for 6 months or a year. I mean, typically we're looking at owning the company for 3 to 5 years, and many we've owned for the whole 10 years I've been here. And the most important thing you're looking for is something meaningfully and sustainably different about that business. It might be a piece of technology and understanding, is this a temporary lead that they have over competitors? Is somebody going to leapfrog them? Or is there something enduring about the way they develop technology that's going to allow them to maintain this lead? We spend an inordinate amount of time looking at all sorts of companies and trying to distill that down to a list of 20 or 30 that we might put in the fund. But when we find a company that we think is fund worthy, that's when we really dig in and start doing as much research as we possibly can. It involves talking certainly to the management of the business. It involves talking to their competitors, to their customers, their suppliers, anybody who might be able to provide an interesting angle on the business. We like to meet with management face to face. We like to do it on their turf where they're comfortable. And it's funny, when you see companies in person, sometimes it's just an office building, other times there's facilities. You do get a bit of a better feel for the business, and it inspires questions that you might not have thought of otherwise. Recently, I got on a plane and went to Dublin, Ireland to visit a company that we were considering investing in. I'd done an enormous amount of work before getting on that plane, so I was really well armed with information before I sat down in front of management. And this is a management team I'd initially seen 5 or 6 years ago, been interested in the business, but it was just not available at the right price. Today it is. They're involved in a number of businesses, but the one that gains the most attention and is the biggest part of the corporation is drug distribution and wholesaling in the Republic of Ireland. So they're a middleman between the big drug companies who make these pharmaceuticals and the very small and fragmented number of retailers. The process really was about visiting management on their turf, reassuring them that I'm not in there looking for a quick flip of their stock. I'm somebody who's really going to be a silent partner in their business for a number of years. And then asking them a lot of probing questions. Why are they going to be able to maintain their margins? Why are they doing so well when their competitors are doing so miserably? Is this some sort of temporary lead that they have, or is this sustainable? What I needed to understand was how formidable their moat it was in that business. They're the number one player, 55% share. They're twice as big as the next biggest guy. But it's tough times in Ireland today. The economy is really in the tank. The government is just drowning under in a sea of debt, and they need money to pay off their debts. So they're dipping their hands into as many pockets as they possibly can, and the pharmaceutical companies are an easy target. So certainly the environment is not a terrific one for them today, not probably for the next 2, 3, 4 years, but I need to understand their ability to withstand that tough environment. Are there levers that they can pull on to maintain their profitability? Are the number 2 and 3 players in jeopardy of going out of business? Is this perhaps an opportunity for the company? So I spent a lot of my time really digging around those issues. A picture truly is worth 1,000 words when it comes to understanding what a business does. And those facility tours often come with somebody less senior providing the tour, and it's amazing what you can learn when you're just walking freely through a business with somebody, asking the questions that come to mind. One of the things I learned in the tour of their main warehousing and logistics facility is just how much more automated they are than the weakest competitor in the market. But I learned from this person was the plan that they were considering to consolidate facilities and what that might mean to the company. I got a better sense of just how close to exiting the market their major competitor is. The key takeaways from the visit is their ability to defend their turf in a tough market, and their ability to advance in some pretty interesting markets. When I look at the growth initiatives, they have a contract sales organization for the pharmaceutical industry, and they have a packaging business that puts pills and whatnot into blister packs to go out to you and me at the drugstore. Those are businesses that have high growth and achievable growth ahead of them. You're never going to get to the bottom of a company's culture unless you spend some time with them and unless you do it on their turf. So that is certainly part of the intent of going to see these companies and continuing to develop a rapport and a relationship with management. And we're in a unique position to do that, the way we invest money at Trimark. We own companies for years at a time. We truly are silent partners in the business. We're encouraging, we're probing. I think the management teams respect that from us. Again, if you're going to own this business for 10 years, you want to make sure it really is doing something sustainably better than its peers.